Well, it's that season of the year. And by season of the year, I don't mean like the holidays. What I mean is it's the season of the year where everybody's talking about what are your reflections from the past year? What are your plans? What are your resolutions for the new year? And especially when we're mid-career and feeling like we're kind of stuck, it can feel just overwhelming to be entertaining those kind of questions. And so today I want to share with you a really simple way to go about this. And then I'm going to illustrate it by giving you some of what I'm thinking about for myself. Hi, I'm Jeanette, the North Dawn coach, and I am so glad that you have joined me here today. So let's jump into this process. And as I said, I'm going to keep it really simple because I don't think it has to be overly complex to be a good, fruitful use of your time. And really, it can result in such clarity and I want to say fuel for getting you moving in the new year. And the basic idea here is that you will answer one question about the previous year. And then in a separate video, I'm going to cover what the process is for kind of the planning steps for the next year. But in this simple question, what you're going to do is think about, what did you learn in 2024? So what did you learn over the past year? I said it was going to be simple. It's a simple question. And what I love about this question is it's so in sync with adopting a growth mindset. We've talked about this in previous videos, but remember, a growth mindset suggests that you can learn and grow. You can develop from experimentation, trial and error. And there's a real possibility of, moving in a very positive forward direction. Whereas if you adopt more of a fixed mindset, you're believing that you kind of got what you got and you should be happy with it. And there's not much you can do to really change what you have, what your capabilities are. And that's just not going to get us anywhere. So I have been working hard on my growth mindset. And so I love this question of learn because it's all about the experimentation of the previous year and then taking forward what I've learned from this that is going to inform like those next steps that I can take for moving forward in this next calendar year. So what does that look like for the, me moving through this exercise? I think that might be helpful for you to have that illustrated. So I'm not going to share my whole list with you because we don't have time for that. But I'll share some of the examples that I have. And the first, and this is in no particular order, but the first learning from 2024 that I want to carry into 2025 is that although it can feel really uncomfortable and I want to avoid hard things, taking on hard, difficult things, there's nothing like the satisfaction of accomplishing the hard things. And one thing comes to mind as an example of that from 2024, and that is in the spring of the year, I was at the final step of completing my International Coaching Federation credential. And that final step is a multi-houred proctored exam that, well, not just me, I was going to say but a lot of people find to be a very difficult exam to take. It's multiple choice, which you commonly think would be maybe a little bit easier, but it's not easy at all. It's very nuanced in the kind of responses. And so I was nervous coming into that exam. I did as much as I could possibly think about to do in the preparation phase, and yet I was still nervous coming into it. And I said it was proctored, so that meant I had to go to an exam center, which happened to be on the campus of a larger kind of adult ed facility. And then, like sort of high security. You don't take anything in with you. They really want to monitor to make sure that there's no kind of cheating that's possible in that setting. And it is a timed exam. And anyway, I was sweating it. And about, I don't know, it must have been not even a third of the way into the exam when the alarm system for the whole facility went off. So they had to stop everybody's exam where it was. We had to, line up, all being super careful to not have any conversation going on, like no, nothing to disqualify us in the process. We had to go evacuate out of the facility, line up in the parking lot, that kind of thing. Anyway, the whole thing worked out. We got back in, they restarted our tests. There was, everything was fine, but it was like the final straw on difficult for me, like this whole interruption of it. Anyway, at the end of the test, the good news is you don't have to wait for your results. I mean, you wait long enough to collect your belongings, and then they hand you a folded piece of paper. And honestly, I did not know what to expect when I unfolded it. Clearly, I'm telling it now, and so it had a happy ending. I passed the exam, but the feeling of, I want to use the word exhilaration, just how excited I was to have made it through that step, which felt really high stakes to me. And it was hard. And would I willingly want to sign up for it? No, I didn't. It was just a part of the process, and I wanted the credential. And I think the big learning that I want to carry forward into the new year is it's good to try things that are challenging. Like that feeling of accomplishment is a really, really good feeling. And so I'm going to be looking for opportunities like that in the new year. The next thing that I am going to carry into the new year is more from a personal perspective, and that is I don't actually have a bucket list written out, but I think I know some items that would be on the list if I were to actually write it out. And one of those items that I really spent a lot of time in early pandemic period, and honestly, actually continuing on after that, is I would watch a lot of people's YouTube videos about train travel, specifically the Amtrak route between Emeryville and Chicago that goes through the Sierra Mountains and then also the Rockies. It's supposedly, and now I can tell you, is so beautiful as a train ride goes. So the opportunity came up in mid-year to have another reason to take that route, to attend a friend's wedding. And so I and another friend actually did a leg of that journey on the train route. And it was just fabulous to check it off the list. It was wild to actually have watched so many other people's videos of what the train travel would be like, and then to be there in person and go, wait, somebody shrunk the train. Wait, how come the compartment looks so much smaller than it looked like when I was watching it on my TV? But anyway, it was just a lovely experience to do something that I had been thinking about doing for so long. And so I want to continue those kind of things in this next calendar year. Let's see. Another thing is, and I've learned this lesson in so many different ways in building my business over the last year and also in YouTube, and that is to banish my perfectionist tendencies, because I have really had 99.9% as the target. Honestly, I've had 100% as the target, but let's say I give myself a little bit of a grace with that 99.9%. And I've learned over this past year that is not it sounds like a good goal. It sounds like a lofty goal. It sounds like, an excelling goal to go for that. But in fact, it's not a good goal for me. And I would say it's not a good goal for you either, because what it does is it prevents you from trying a bunch of things. And if you're not trying them, you can't possibly be learning. You're just kind of stuck in trying to move towards the goal of 99.9%. And so many times I couldn't actually move towards the goal because I was so stuck. So lowering the bar to say, well, let's go with 70%, or let's go with I'm just a beginner and I'm going to keep trying and experimenting. That's what I've done in the YouTube journey. I listened to other creators who said, don't wait to start. Don't wait to have the best equipment. Use what you have. Don't wait until you have the technical skills. Just get started, because that's the only way that you are going to learn. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. And I'm so glad that I did not, have that hold me up any longer, that I got started with that and a whole bunch of other, I don't know enough challenges in the entrepreneurial world of having my business. And so that's been a fabulous, freeing learning that I definitely want to take into the new year. Two more things that I'll share with you. I have also done a lot of learning around the different opportunities that are available to us as Gen Xers, maybe, younger baby boomers, that just weren't part of our experience as we started in early career. And that's because, generally we were taught like it's one organization and, it's either that or you have your own business. But this idea of, kind of cobbling together a variety of different options, through the ability to do things virtually, through, the ability to have business opportunity, side gig sorts of things that, just really weren't possible in the past. You can have a very interesting kind of post-mid-career period by this portfolio career idea. And I'm going to be looking into that even more in this next year. So I really want to carry that forward and continue to, inform all of you about that as I learn, more about those different options out there. And then the final thing, it's kind of funny that it's somewhat related to what I just said in terms of possibility. Like this virtual world has opened up so much possibilities for us. Yes, there was a life before Zoom. And, everything in my business is made possible by, looking into the lens of a camera, and being able to, be in touch with clients that way, be able to film videos on YouTube, all of those sorts of things. So that's certainly true and a good thing. And it's also good to have a little bit of contrast to that. So the opportunities that I had over the past year where I actually stepped out in real life in my full 3D version of myself and had opportunities either to speak or to facilitate or to network, or just, have coffee or lunch, in person with people. That brings about such a lovely contrast to, the behind the camera work. So I definitely want to continue to have more of those opportunities and pull them into the new year. All right, so those are just some of the learnings. Hopefully they're helpful to you. But what I would like to challenge you with at this point is do some of this reflection yourself. Again, keep it simple. The question is, what did you learn? And then we're going to come back and I'm going to talk about what we do to take those learnings and really bring them into the new year in a way that can move you forward. And I'll do that in the next video. So do jump into comments. I'd love to hear some of what you have learned. And then we'll see you back here in just a couple more days. So in the meantime, do take care. We'll talk to you soon.